Okay, so they were traveling. They found the tracks of some big cats. You're traveling, found tracks of some big cats, along with some humanoids who were following them, and you followed those tracks. You slept in the bear cave where you met a bear. Elro placated it long enough to let you guys sleep throughout the night. In the morning, you followed the tracks again, despite the snow that seems to be falling in the area. After about half a day, you came across this valley where you saw these big cats below, and Elro managed to realize that you were literally standing on top of the humanoid that Elro was tracking. You guys dropped over and you noticed that Durton and Yeshtroska were standing there. You struck up a conversation, found out they were hunting the big cats, to Elro's dismay. You decided there was nothing you could do, so you left them to their hunt and returned to the bear cave where you decided to take a long rest.
Have we already taken our rest or not?
No, I believe that's what we were coming up with.
River Ice will take first watch. I don't know if that came through. Vorheis will take first watch.
Yes, I heard you. I pull my bedroll off to the side and not too far from the fire. I roll up in it and start to be in my trance. Anybody there?
Yeah.
Nope.
It just got awfully quiet.
That's why I made sure that somebody heard me when I said what I was doing.
You're running perceptions for Eagle?
Thank you.
Well, we know he could be very perceptive, but wasn't so sure about you. Doesn't look too bad, though.
Yeah, he beats me on that just a little bit. By 4 points.
You weren't listening when they had math, I guess, huh? In my book, 29 is 5 greater than 24.
Potato, patata.
But we got the same roll. That's why I said by 4 points he wins. For some reason, he got more points than me.
I can't. I can't anymore.
Well, okay.
Type it in a calculator.
I know he gets 5 more than me. I was just trying to figure out where it comes from because we have the same. He's got 12 and I've got. Okay, never mind. I know where it's from now. Okay, by 5 points. Leave me alone. My head is not right.
We've known that for a while.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, Verheis, where do you spend your watch? Since you're currently at this cave that's about 10, maybe 15 feet deep.
Near the opening. Close enough to keep warm, but have the fire to my back so I can look out. And generally over by a wall so that I'm not just highlighted by the fire behind me. And I can still look up into the sky since we know there's something flying out there, and or I think Elros told us about there's a dragon out there. So I can see our whole area.
Elro thinks that Yashaska is a dragon, but no one knows for sure.
Okay. So yeah, so I can keep an eye on all around us. But I stay in the cave. Not gonna walk around a lot. Just enough that it's like leaning against the wall during recess and watching everybody play. Or hopefully a quiet night.
Okay. About halfway through your watch, you hear kind of a snuffling sound and the crunch of snow underfoot. And a couple of minutes later, around around the corner, or from around the corner, you see the bear kind of slowly meandering towards the cave, and kind of stops and sniffs and looks your direction, and then just sits down, staring at you.
He ignores it enough that, if he attacks, I'm ready for it. But if not, if he comes in, he just comes in.
Okay, it sits there staring at you for 20 minutes.
You get the idea that this bear doesn't really like roommates.
Could have been here earlier. And, just smiles and keeps on looking. Like, I'm not going to mess with you, but if you want to come in, come in. If not, not my. You get to be out here in the cold.
Okay. Not long after you say that, he stands up, kind of gives you a low, half-hearted growl. Elro and Dorinda, give me perception checks at disadvantage.
Without the guidance, obviously.
Yeah, neither one of you wake up. So, never mind. Kind of gives you a low, half-hearted growl, and then turns and walks away. Just kind of lumbers away more than anything else.
Chuckles under my breath with a little bit of a. Damn it! I needed a bear rug. And just keeps on looking. And if that's all that happens, I'll walk over and wake up.
Well, hold your horses. Okay, so are you still at the doorway or no?
Yes.
Okay. The bear comes back from around the corner. This time it's carrying the haunch of an elk. Looks like it's been torn off. And its face and front, neck are covered in blood. Let's call it a ram, not an elk. He comes back in, or comes back, stops where he was before with this haunch of ram in his mouth, dangling from the leg in his mouth. And he just kind of looks at you for a moment, kind of looks around, looks back at you, and then he starts walking towards you. And he literally just shoulders right past you. Just, if you are in his way, he will literally just push you out of his way.
Varys will laugh.
Do you do anything? Outside of laughing?
I'll stand still. And while he's trying to push me back, I'll push him. As you know, no. Yeah, I'm here, you walk around.
Well, if you're in his way, how's he supposed to walk around?
I figure this is a big enough opening. He'd walk without, running his back to, up along one side, leaving one side open.
Elro covered the hole with a huge slab of rock last night before we went to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll move out of the way for the bear to come in.
Okay.
I forgot about that, so.
Okay. So the bear comes in and just kind of giving you an irritated look as he does. And he walks over to Elro and he drops the leg of Ram right on Elro. And then walks to the back of the cave and curls up.
It's hilarious. The vegetarian, good for the bear! Very seriously laughs. It's not a loud, obnoxious, but it's a good chuckle. What do you do, Elro?
I don't know. Do I wake up?
With if we're gonna go with that same perception roll, definitely.
I'll probably roll over, look at the dead animal carcass, grunt, and then roll back over and fall asleep. Probably thinking that Verheis killed something and that it was funny, and yeah.
Okay.
The rest of my night quiet?
Are you in a hurry or something?
No, I just don't want to. I don't want to cut you off if you're saying something.
Okay. Yes, the rest of your night is quiet.
And then I walk over and tap Dorinda on the leg, waking her, or getting her from a trance, and walk over and pick up the leg and put it to where it can start cooking, and waking her up again, making sure she's awake and letting her know, yeah, the bear brought us dinner or lunch or breakfast in the morning. And I point out the bear over in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Well, seems like we're intruding in his space, so I'm glad that he decided to offer us something rather than just attack us. I get up and stir the fire, throw another log on just to make sure it'll keep going. And then I get ready for my watch.
Varys, after he gets the leg by the fire, he'll go over and put lay down, and not lay down, but get in his trance as he tries to meditate.
And as I look around and watch what's going on, I start hearing a rumble from the back. It seems like the bear is comfortable enough with us that he can sleep. So
Okay.
we do that, and I look around outside, step out for a bit, and breathe in the brisk air, and look around, but stay right close to the cave entrance.
Okay. You'll notice that it has started snowing again. Um, it's not terribly heavy, but it's heavier than it was before. Um, Other than that, your watch is pretty quiet. A couple times you come close to nodding off, but you manage to keep yourself awake. Yeah, it's pretty quiet watch as far as you are aware.
Okay. Going toward the end of my shift, I step back into the cave and kind of uh, pound my shoulders and my arms a bit to try and get circulation going again, and then I stir the fire and turn that leg over, and I go around and wake people up, tell them, hey, it's morning. I don't know if you want to wait for this leg of mutton to be fully cooked, or if you want to just take it along and we'll strip it down and cook it more quickly in smaller slices.
Varys wake up and look over as Elro is waking up. How do you like the gift from your friend over there? To point to the bear, uh, with a chuckle.
You not drop meat?
Nope, that was the gift to us from your friend over there. We came right in and dropped it right on you.
Oro will just kind of shrug. Um, there's basically like no trees in the area that we're in, right?
Very few.
Okay. Oro will eat a ration.
Okay.
Hey, Verheis will cut a slab of meat so that he can cook it faster, so that they can leave and let the bear have its piece.
Okay. While you guys are about and getting ready to leave, the bear kind of lifts its head, gives you a frustrated or irritated huff, and then kind of stands up, stretches, turns around facing the opposite direction, with his head buried at the back of the cave, and very shortly after starts snoring again.
In the process of all that, can Elro try and get some type of cue from, like, wants to see if the bear would rather me leave the slab where it is, where he can get in and out, or if he would rather me move the slab back to where it was.
Okay, you gonna ask him that?
I'm gonna use, um, hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my beast speak thing, verbal race thing, which I'm not gonna be able to hear a yes from him, but kind of point at the rock and make some grunts and that kind of stuff, and rock stay, rock leave.
Okay. Um. Again, there's no direct language here, but you kind of get the impression that he'd be okay if you left it.
But that is what I will do.
We're has to check his bag and get everything ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, since nobody has said anything about whether we should try and cook the meat through or not, I took it with a big sheet of leather and uh, um, leave the raw side of the leather in, and I put some coals in it and the leg of ram on top, and then wrap it all up tight. So I've got a nice warm bundle that'll just keep on cooking that meat slow. And that way we can take along, and sometime midday it'll probably be done. And if it's not, it'll be done enough that it won't spoil. So do what we have to do. Did you hear any of that, or did I have my
Yeah, I heard you.
button down?
So that sounds kind of cool. Okay. Yeah.
Get in the back of the group so Earl can lead because he knows where we're going, or he has better directions than I do.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
Nope, not at
no,
all.
No, we didn't hear you
Sorry, say it
begin.
again. Can you hear me now?
Now we did.
no,
You can't hear me, Dad?
no.
I can hear you.
So is it you or me?
Everyone else can hear me. Can you hear them?
It's Dorinda.
No.
We hear you.
Okay, so it's you.
Okay, I hear both of you, but if he's not hearing you, it's him.
I can't hear a thing.
We can hear you.
Now, I heard that.
Okay, well, now it's working.
Yeah, fun. It's going to work when it wants to.
Discord, that's how it works.
Yeah, you definitely have no love for Discord, do you?
It's an amazing concept, but it does what it wants to do, unfortunately.
You know, I don't have anywhere near the issues you have with Discord. But I had those same issues with Vent. So and TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I was never huge on TeamSpeak, but I loved Vent.
Vent had a lot of potential, but once I started running computers with Windows 10, it kept crashing on me, so I said screw it. And when I say crashing, I don't just mean, Vent crashing out, or even the game I'm playing crashing out. I'm talking the entire computer crashing.
Eh, makes sense.
Well, if you're going to do it, why do half measures?
So if it was just Vent crashing out, I could probably live with it. But when your entire computer crashes because you're trying to run a program, I think it's time you either stop running that program or, yeah. Anyway, so we heard everything you said about the mutton and all that, Dad. Dorinda.
That's good. I have no idea whether it would really work.
Sounds cool.
Guess we'll find out if y'all get food poisoning tonight or not. Oh crap, did I just give the DM an idea? Oop.
Hey, so who's leading this group?
I'm guessing Elro because Elro kind of led them up here.
Okay. Give me a survival and perception check, Elro. Okay, Elro, the first thing you notice when you exit the cave is there is a good bit of blood, a good bit of a blood trail. But in that blood, I mean, the blood you can assume is probably from the bear, dripping on its way in. But that there are also tracks over that blood that are fresher than the blood. They've walked through the area. See, the 21. last 4 hours.
Do I recognize them as the tracks that we were following up here?
Very similar. Um, close enough that you could assume that it's probably them. And it does appear as though they are dragging something.
When you say them, what do you mean?
Well, Elro is making the assumption, or asked if you could make the assumption, that it was Darton and Yashtraska. So,
Dragging at least one or two of the cats that they were tracking yesterday that they went down the mountain to kill.
Okay.
Elro will kind of see this and look at it and give a solemn face and kind of point it out and no more kitty. Obviously not knowing if that's really what happened or not, but probably.
you'll also notice that the tracks go pretty much the way you are planning to go. Pardon me. The tracks go pretty much the way you're planning to go.
Verheis will say, because I reeled a really bad insight for myself, or kitties.
That's a little strange coming from you. Only yesterday you were willing to kill him.
No, I wasn't willing. I was willing to scare him off. That's why I was aiming down there. He wouldn't let me shoot the bow to scare him away.
Yeah, Elro will start following, I guess, the tracks on down the mountain path.
Okay, are you actually going to follow the tracks or try to return to the path that you were following before?
Try and return to the path that we were following before. But if they're leading to the same place, kind of whatever. But yeah, I figure Elro will continue to try and get to wherever we were, somewhere in this area-ish, and see if there's a path that leads off north or northern area.
Okay.
Verheis, as he's starting to go down there, will remind him that we discussed seeing if there was a path by where we're at to just head north.
Okay. um, After about 2.5 hours of traveling, you notice that the route that you're route back to where you came from, and the tracks are starting to diverge. They're taking kind of a route that goes off a little more north, and it um, kind of goes up into the mountains a little bit more. But it looks a lot more what's the word? Rough. I mean, the route looks rougher, more rough. Um, just from where you are, just from where you're standing, where the paths diverge, you can see that there are some spots where you would have to climb, and just from looking, you can tell that one or both of them simply jumped. Um,
Oh,
between
look,
the yeah. Go ahead.
I'll look back at them and point at the tracks and then point up further and kind of go maybe short, maybe not good, maybe go back and like point at the path that we took up. Maybe go back, then up, and shrug, looking at Drenda, Eagle, and Bryce.
Variety says, whichever way you're leading, you choose.
Drenda?
I trust you to choose a path that is good and safe for us.
And
If it's
Eagle,
not their path, then that's all right with me.
and Eagle's riding you, so he doesn't care where you go because he
Yeah.
ain't walking in the snow.
Um, Elro will say, Elro will point at the path that they took off on and say, Elro, no problem. Think Drenda maybe problem. And then he'll just start walking down the other way, the way that we came up from.
And I'll follow behind him as before.
I'll have my torch in one hand, shovel in the other. Just keep on moving.
Did you say torch and shovel?
Yeah, shovel in one hand. You know, if I need to move something, I'll use one arm to. It's okay, but and my torch in the other.
Not sure why you're carrying a torch.
Sorry, not my torch, but my mace. That's turned on for the torch for the fireside.
Okay. Well, it's daytime, so you probably don't really need a torch. But you do what you want.
Torch has fire. Fire has heat. I figure I'm staying warm.
As long as you're in the back, away from
I
Elro,
am.
he's happy. Apparently, Control W poses the tab that you're in.
Okay. So, did you guys decide to follow them, or follow the tracks, or follow the
We're
previous
going
tracks?
down the path that Elro said that he would probably be able to make it the other way, but that Brenda probably wouldn't. So he just started down the way that we went,
Okay.
the way that we came up.
Okay, just double checking. You continue down the route you came up. The way is slick, cold, slow, and the snow is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Do you guys stop for lunch?
I stopped long enough to open my bundle and see how the meat is cooking. Once it's open, I can see that it's doing very well and probably cooked it long enough. So I take the leg in one hand and shake the hide in the other, and that gets rid of most of the coals and the ash. And then I put the meat back in the hide and wrap it up again tight, and I tell the others I think this will be good to eat this evening, so we can probably have some nice meat and maybe either nice meat just to brown on a flat rock or chop up some of it and put it in a stew, whatever suits your fancy.
Okay. So no stopping for lunch.
Nope.
No, I don't need to.
Elro the Trailblazer, you stopping?
No. If they're wanting to go on, Elro will go on.
Okay. It takes you probably another 3 hours or so, and you finally make it down to the point where you decided to turn and head up the mountainside. Um, at this
Just out,
point,
of,
what's that?
just out of curiosity, at this elevation that we had stayed at, depending on how the weather is, could I see out any further this way?
It's snowing.
Notice in Colorado and I can still see the mountains.
Well, when you're in the mountains, you can't see out of them.
Sometimes I can. Depends on how much snow and how fast it was going and how cloudy it is and how
We all
low
know
the
why you
clouds are
did it.
sitting.
Fine.
How
You
about
get
that?
the extra kudos.
Damn. Okay. I'll take what I can get.
Well, I actually gave you a good chunk more.
No red trees. Agrius would have loved this.
Okay. So you get to you basically meet up with your old path, and the party turns toward. Yeah. Party turns northwest and continues their travels.
Just keep an eye out for around us and above us as he's digging our way out.
Digging your way out.
Yeah, I can see Elro walking, and I can see a big path behind him. To me, it's as if he's digging us a path.
Oh, okay.
I get
The
behind his
snow at this point is between 3.5 feet tall. Deep.
Wish we
Um,
had snowshoes.
okay. I'm sorry. Nobody's ever asked a merchant for snowshoes.
For what?
Nobody's ever
I
asked a
keep
merchant for
forgetting
snowshoes.
Oh,
Verizon keeps forgetting it's winter time because every time we're around a merchant, the weather is nice enough to where he's not thinking about it.
Okay. Wow, Elro, really? Um. Darkness falls, or starts to fall. Sun starts to set, and you guys are still tromping about in the snow. What do you want to do? You want to keep going into the night?
I'll leave that up to Elro. If he feels like he can do that, we can make up some time. That's great. If not, then we need to find a place to camp.
we'll try to both keep going and look for a spot. Like if we come up across a spot that is just too good to pass up, then he'll suggest, you know, low wind, um, settle, and if not, then he'll go for another like hour or two.
Okay, give me another survival check just to see your chances of finding a place too good to pass up. Sorry, keep forgetting I'm muting it. The party continues on for another hour or so before Elro finally finds that perfect place. Um, it's actually an old log cabin. Um, that has survived a landslide. It's kind of leaning off to the side. Um, about 2/3 of the roof has been caved in by rocks, and it's completely missing one of the walls. So it's not actually a cabin anymore, but it would certainly block the wind from at least 3 directions.
Elro will go. Ooh. And Verheis. No wind.
All right, so we'd
He'll,
start from there.
then he'll start walking towards that and getting us ready.
Eagle can give me an investigation check for Heist.
I can't do it invisible, or I would, so that's why I was, that'd just be him.
You could whisper it to me if you want.
It won't let me whisper. I looked at his character sheet, and there's no 2DM on there.
That's perception, not investigation.
Thank you. Cool.
Don't forget to turn it off.
I will.
He finds snow.
Once Verheis gets the fire set up in the cabin, or at least the cropping so they can keep warm, he'll go off and see if he can find any ingredients for, if he's got a little bit of time, uh, for potion making.
Okay, you would have about 3 hours until you would normally bed down for the night.
Then he'd take 3 hours just to find supplies for potion. He's got enough potions right now. He just wants to make sure he always has enough supplies.
Okay, go ahead and roll survival. Okay, you find about 6.
Well, on his way back, he asked how many Dorinda has.
I think I have 9. Uh,
He gives her 2.
what?
2 supplies.
Okay. I find a flat rock out just outside the cabin. Uh, I scrub it good with snow and bring it in, set it aside the fire so that it'll heat up so we can grill our dinner. And then I take out the ram's leg and start slicing steaks off of it. And as the rock starts to get hot, I lay some meat out on it and it sizzles, and we're on our way to dinner. Do we have any vegetables that we could put with this, or is this just going to be a
Protein.
steak fest?
You would have
Or
to.
we'll go out when we stop, when we find this cabin stuff. As they start doing their stuff, Elder will probably go out and see if he can find any random fieldy vegetables and stuff, and leaves and flavorings and that kind of stuff, and see what he can muster.
Okay, give me a survival check.
As I'm preparing this meal, I go ahead and slice the rest of the meat and string it up on a makeshift rack next to the fire so we can dry what's left and smoke it a bit so we use it for jerky.
Okay. Elro, honestly, I have no idea what kind of vegetables you would find in the middle of a snow-blown forest. But,
Roots for one.
yeah, sure. Go for it. You find all the roots you want. Enough that you would be able to pack together about 15 rations for yourself. Obviously vegetarian rations.
And I will pack about 11, 10 large rations, and then the rest I will put in for them to put with their lamb or with their ram steaks.
And I'll take those roots and peel them and slice them and lay them on the rock just right next to the meat. Let them cook. And won't be potatoes, but it isn't going to be far off from yams. And with the right seasonings, it can be quite tasty.
Okay, this is making me hungry.
That's a good sign, right?
Mutton steaks and wild roots, wild tubers. That
I was
sounds
wondering
good.
how well did you
Yeah.
learn your survival skills? Damn.
She's been studying with Eagle.
I know, that's why he's looking at her. And I might just have to learn something myself.
Okay. Dorinda, is anything other than cooking that you want to do with your time?
No, I think that's enough. I just want to make sure that we take care of this mutton so that it doesn't go to waste. I mean, it's not that we worked for it, but our friendly bear gave it to us. And it just bothers me if we waste it. So I want to make sure we don't. We smoke it and dry it a little bit so we'll have jerky.
Okay. As far as the smoked mutton is concerned, there's enough there to give you rations for 3 days for everyone in the party. So it's like 9 rations.
Okay. Well, in the morning when it's cooled down, I will pack it up and put it in my pack.
Okay. Alra, is there anything else you want to do? Because with a nat 20 on your vegetable check, it didn't take you very long.
Okay. Then I will. And is the roof totally gone, or is there area that
It's
still
about
has
two.
part of a church?
It's about 2/3 gone. If you kind of tuck back in the corner and don't mind sitting on some debris, you could probably get out from under the snow if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, he wants to. There's my paper. He's gonna do a drawing of our two friends that we met yesterday.
Darton and Yashchashka?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a check. Damn, I was really hoping you'd roll low on that. Okay. Okay, as you're drawing it, the pen is kind of drawing from your mind. You know, it's responding to your mental image of your meeting with these two. Um, and once you feel like you finished, you kind of take a moment to look at it. And at first you glance at it and it looks pretty good. And then you kind of hesitate for a moment and look back at it. And as you're looking at the image of Yastroska, you realize that there are faint wings coming from her back. They're not completely penned in. It's almost like pencil lines that have been erased, kind of thing. They're just very faint, almost imperceptible. Their wings extending from Yastroska's back, and her I don't know, her skin tone is very her skin tone is very dark, darker than you intended. And no, it does not look like a demon elf. Not that you've seen it.
It was my joke. You remember? She wanted to go kill his friend or the cats. That's the whole.
No, no demon elf. Sorry.
Um, yeah, so that's all that I was planning on doing. When I do that, I will kind of, I think it'll just add to what Grishikara said and roll it up, put it with everything else, and kind of do a little shiver, like, is this good or not? Like the fact that we met another dragon, but based on Grishikara's information, maybe not good.
Okay. Okay, so you put it away and you guys bed down for the night?
Or we'll get away from the corner where it was covered. The two that don't like the cold can have the more covered area. They'll find a nice place where it's out in the open and still snowing.
Well, that's nice of you, Elro. I take my bedding and get up under the eave or under what little's left of the roof and bundle up tight and try to get warm.
Okay.
Everyone has to get ready to take first watch.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. Verheis, as you're watching, um, the snow continues falling roughly the same rate it's been falling all day, so there's not too much of a change there. Um, your watch is cold, dark, very quiet, and there's just really not much to report about it. It's just there. It's a quiet night.
Varys will keep the fire going, and and he'll watch or walk around the buried building. Uh, just quiet night. And he'll walk back and wake Dorinda up, get over underneath the overhang so that he's not having the snow on him. But he'll make sure that she's awake enough to say, okay, it's a quiet night. Nothing really to other than cold and quiet. And you got this. He'll make sure she at least says yes, and then he'll go to sleep.
I get up. And, uh, it's chilly. I'm pretty much awake. I look around, stir up the fire a little, put another log on just to be sure. And I wander around and make sure everybody seems to be sleeping all right. And wander out around the building. Just take a look, see what I can see, which is pretty much nothing. And then after a while, a couple hours maybe, I come back in and I start pulling that smoked meat off and laying it on a cold rock so it will cool out and be ready to pack by morning. It looks like we're going to get about 9 rations here. It's always nice to know we've got a little extra just to make sure that we don't have to go hungry.
Okay. After you finish that, you return to outside the building. Just kind of with your back against what's left of the building, staring out into the night. Um, you kind of just absentmindedly start watching the shadows on the snow around you, and as you're watching the shadows, you realize one of them isn't moving quite like the others. As a matter of fact, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. And the others are kind of swaying back and forth in the breeze, like like trees are wont to do, and thus their shadows sway as well. But this one that you're looking at, it's not moving.
Well, I noticed that, and I kind of try to walk around so I can get downwind of it, and then ease a little closer. Try to see what it might be that's there and not moving. What do I find? Are we being watched by other beings?
Okay, you said you circle around trying to get downwind and then do what?
Then I ease in as close as I can to see if I can see anything. Uh, the the shadow of this one particular uh, whatever it is doesn't move with the others. And that's strange. It's um, mysterious, and I want to know why.
Okay. Well, they're back early. Or earlier than I expected. Um, as you approach, actually, give me a stealth check, just for kicks.
I'm not very good at those, but
Okay. Um, as you kind of slowly make your way towards where you think the shadow was, You're doing everything you can to avoid making any noise, but you kind of put your foot down and there's this crack of ice. And you can see a very sudden shift in the shadows where you're looking, and then it's gone. You can't seem to see where it went. You just know there was something there. Do you want to do anything else?
Well, I don't think it makes much sense to spend too much time looking out in the dark. So I'll wait until morning and see if I can see tracks over that way. It
Okay.
doesn't appear to be any threat to our camp, so I'm just willing to wait.
Okay. Are you guys playing the game? Because it's Friday. Okay. The rest of your night goes with without incident. It's rest of your night is quiet. No more shadows or anything of that sort to investigate, unfortunately.
Okay. And as it starts to get light out, I go ahead and wake everyone and tell them they can take one of these portions of mutton and the tubers that were cooked along with them for breakfast, or you can do something else. Whatever's left, I'll put into my pack as rations, and I tell them that there may have been someone or something observing us in the middle of the night, well after halfway through my shift. I saw what to me appeared to be a shadow that wasn't moving with the other shadows. And I tried to sneak up on it, but didn't manage. And at one point, it appeared that this entity was startled and disappeared. So someone's interested in what we're doing, but it doesn't mean it's interested in us particularly, just being nosy. But who knows?
You guys want to go look in that area to see if there was something there, or we can stare if anybody can tell what it was? It's not that far away, and then we.
Yeah, I figured at least one of us ought to look at it in daylight, but I hadn't got there yet because it's just now getting daylight. So if you want to go ahead, take a look.
Elro will
Sure.
go out there with him.
Sorry, what was that?
Elro will go out there with him.
That's
Since
probably a
Elmo
good
has
idea.
better investigation than I do when he's investigating stuff, I'll help him look at it. But he's probably will know what it was before I will.
Okay, so I guess Elro give me investigation with advantage.
See if I have something to will help me in the stuffages. Basically, do not have. Gotcha.
Good thing is with advantage. Okay, so 18. Um, you go out to where Dorinda directed you, and unfortunately, the snow has continued to fall. And is actually snowing harder than it was last night. Quite a bit harder. But you can see that kind of nestled up against a rock, between a rock and a log, there's a indent in the snow, as if somebody had spent an extended period of time crouching or hiding there. You can even see the indent on the snow against the rock, as if they had been leaning against it. Um, you are able to follow a trail from the rocks, or from this indent in the snow, to a nearby tree. But once you're at the tree, you don't see any indication of where the tracks went from there. You're not sure if they went up the tree. There's no sign of whether or not they went up the tree, or into the tree, or through the tree, or flew away, or whatever. Any number of lots and lots of options in a fantasy situation.
Can I, based on the size of the feet, can I tell if it's like a eagle-sized person or a Dorinda-sized person or a me-sized person or a somebody way bigger than me sized person or
Roughly the same size as Dorinda and Verheis.
and does it look barefoot or booted?
You cannot tell.
Okay.
There's too much snow.
Because my guy, Scott, whatever you want to call me, thought process is the dragon was keeping watch on us, but Elro would really put that together. So I will point that stuff out to Verheis, and when we make it back to the cabin, I will say, um, Much snow, not track well. Look like and point at both her and his feet. You size. And then shrug.
For reference, before you guys continue on, the snow is roughly 4 feet tall or deep at this point.
I ask Elro if he wants to move forward, if he wants to stay here. It's up to him, since he's the leader.
Elro will shrug.
Looks at Dorinda and asks what she wants. I'm willing to do either way. So
I don't think we should change our plans based on this. I mean, at least as far as we know right now, whoever this is just watching. And so let's move on and give them something to watch.
So we will go.
hey, he says okay, and he does a check over his gear and heads out. Okay, in the last of the pack, but he heads out.
We're going to quickly gather my gear together. Put those rations into my pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys said you're heading out.
Sounds like it.
I'm assuming Elro's in the lead.
Unfortunately,
Elro,
Elro likes being in the back, but
Elro, give me a perception and survival check, please. You know, you want to hear something really weird, guys, about me? It took me probably about 6 months to realize that the skills on the character sheet are in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
So
but you have to
somebody
pay
was just being
attention.
orderly?
I don't know about that. All I know is that it took me about 6 months of playing D&D with my international group before I realized, damn, these are in alphabetical order.
Okay. Well,
typically pay attention. But I know survival's the last one, so that's the quickest one to get to. And then I can go through the rest and
yeah,
find where I'm looking for.
I understand. Maybe whether something's alphabetical or not just doesn't rise to your observation as far as picking out the nuances of the game.
I was just gonna say I definitely didn't take the observant feat, but that works too. Anyway, 25 and 28. Nice. Okay, Elro, you make your way north. northwest, I guess. Um, Again, the travel is slow, slick. Um, your companions are enjoying themselves, feeling like they're skating at times. Ice skating, that is. Um,
Does a figure eight.
just a second, guys.
Elro, agility check to see if you complete a triple.
Agility to see if he falls.
It sounded like Jeff said figure skating, so my mind went, us is on skates. Picture Elro. Okay, you gotta do the triple now.
I can move across and climb icy surfaces without needing to make an ability check. So, there. I will do my triple double and my pile, and you can make your check. And then if you want to see something funny, we can get to dry ground and I can try it again and fall on my ass.
Sorry, guys. My sister handed me a piece of mail that I thought was going to be bad news. It turned out to be stating the obvious, I guess.
The obvious was good news.
No, I thought it was going to be something bad. It's from Medicaid. I thought it was going to be something bad, and they basically was just saying, okay, here's the name and number for your primary care provider. Like, I haven't known that name or number for the last, 3 years. But thanks for the update, I guess. Anyway, um, why are people rolling acrobatics?
Oh, Verheis was like, you mentioned ice skating, and Verheis is like, I'll roll a agility check for doing a triple. And so I read him my legendary protection uh, feature of the cleric subclass, and said, I don't have to roll an ability check for doing stuff on icy surfaces. Now, if you want to get me on dry land and do it, I'll fall on my ass.
And he told me I had to do it, and then I got to tell.
Well, yeah. Verheis and Dorinda are having trouble keeping their footing. It's just slowing the party down that much more. Elrose, you continue taking the party north west, you realize that directly ahead of you there is another mountain. You are able to. You can either try to go over it, or you can try to go around it. Looks like you could probably get around it to the west after, a few miles. Or you could even be even more adventurous and try to go around it to the east by going up into the mountains. Which would you like to do?
And I would guess, based on my skills with cartography, that going over it would be extremely tough on my companions, and going around it might be tough to the east.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Oh, going looking at the terrains you could see at your current location. You suspect that going east and trying to go around it by going up into the mountains would probably be the most treacherous terrain. Going over it would probably be the second, and then trying to go around it to the west would probably be the easiest. However, might also be the longest.
I will go to the west because, based on the ice skating that is currently going on, there is probably not a great chance that they will uh, go up and over it very well. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Maybe I should zoom in instead of out. I didn't realize it was that far out.
What are you talking about?
I thought the mountain ended like there. I didn't see this extra piece.
Ah,
Um, I think I will try and go that route.
so you are gonna try to climb it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worst comes to worst, I can try and help them out with drinky stuff.
Since the weather's so bad and or not the weather, but the snow is good and we're being ice skating, I asked Elro to tie a rope around his waist and then give Dorinda half of it, and I get the other half, so that she's in the middle tied. But we're all tied, so at least if anything happens, we've got two good holds before something bad happens.
I will do that, and also tie a bit to Eagle, so if for some strange reason he falls, he will not fall.
Okay, so if Eagle falls off, he'll just be kind of hanging from a rope at your waist. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh god, I can see that now.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Elro standing there at the top of the cliff with Eagle hanging upside down on this rope, just kind of very slowly spinning on the rope.
The last thing I need is as we prepare to climb stuff, and Jorinda is tied off, and Verheis is tied off, and Eagle falls, and Verheis goes, "I didn't kill your character. It's guided."
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, are any of these cliffs that we like we were just on where I could run up?
You can certainly try.
Well, I mean, with my skill set. That's why I was asking.
You can certainly try. it will take a roll to see if you slip, because everything is covered in ice at the moment.
No thanks. That's why I was asking the question. I was asking if that included ice or any type of.
Didn't we do a map where there was fog on the ground? Actual moving fog?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was included with ice.
Okay. Okay. So you and the party begin to climb through this mountain pass. It's not not the easiest of routes. Um, Verheis and Dorinda, give me acrobatics checks. Yes, Verheis, it is a frozen liquid,
I,
but
am not, you know, I'm
it is a
not
solid
arguing.
form of water.
I'm not arguing with you at all. I was harassing. That was between me and Elro. That was not me and the DM. That was me and Elro. I completely agreed with you. There was no argument whatsoever.
Uh huh. Okay. Elro, as you're climbing, um, just for kicks, Elro, give me an athletics check. Okay. As you're climbing and helping the others up, Rai slips, but manages to catch himself just as you reach out for him. Um, Unfortunately, as you're doing that, Dorinda slips and is unable to catch herself, and she goes sliding down about 15 feet, getting a little scraped up from ice. However, the rope around her waist does stop her so that she does not fall to her death or damage herself.
I have
Um,
a question
what's
because
that?
I know I'm currently holding the bar of holding. Uh, Does that have I know the you only have heating once a day, but does the staying immobile is that as many times I push the button, or only once a day as well?
What's it say on the card?
Don't know. You to pop that up for me.
If you look in the journal, there should be a folder down near the bottom called items. Pop that open. There should be. It's
Got it.
actually it's actually right there. I haven't put that into anyone's inventory yet.
And the only reason I'm holding it is because I grabbed it when from our last fiasco. Make sure we brought it with us. Okay, one charge per use. Never mind. Can't do what I was hoping to do.
It says it'll stay stationary for up to 1 hour.
It is, but okay. I wasn't going. I was going to use this for like 5 minutes. You know, as I walk, push the button, move it forward. Push the button, use it as a really good walking stick. But you only have 6 uses of it, so you know after 6 steps you're screwed. So not worth using. I was
You
trying.
you could use your spells to recharge it and have more. Oh wait, you don't have
I don't have
spells.
spells. That's you guys.
I'm such an ass.
Be cool if it could use any thing from key to spells. Now that would be cool. But that's neither here or there. It was an idea. It doesn't work, so he keeps on walking and tries to stay as standing up as possible. And on his next excursion to a merchant, he's buying snowshoes and climbing shoes. Ooh, wait a minute. Mages have those.
Ages? Or
Climbing
made, oh,
shoes.
made just.
Nope, I don't. I thought it came in the backpack that I had, but climbing shoes is just a wee bit off there. It has a pickaxe and stuff like that, but not climbing shoes. Okay, so we follow Elro up and become his burden to help us.
Ink White's on the phone.
That's fine.
Sorry, phone call.
That's okay. Let us know when you're back. Actually, it's past 9:30. We can take a 15-minute break.
Sure, that's what you guys want.
I don't care.
Whatever makes you happy.
Okay, is everyone back?
Yep, been here.
Didn't intend to be gone that long. I just kind of get distracted doing something else, and yeah. Sky? I heard the tail end of a meow, so I'm gonna assume that was you.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure Dorinda's there.
Yes.
Okay, I believe we left off with you guys trying to climb up the uh, middle of this mountain or pass, and not going so well for Dorinda and Verheis. So give me some more acrobatics checks, Dorinda and
Um,
Verheis.
before they do that, are we going up like a cliff, or are we going up like um the incline rocky path kind of thing?
Um, it's like a very steep incline. I mean, it's not a cliff, but it's also not just your typical path. It's like a
Based, well, it was supposed to be before she rolled, but based on uh that, I was going to talk with Verheis and say, you pull out, me put in. And since this comes naturally to me, ish, I'm gonna use my pitons to hammer in every so often to try and give them something to grab onto. But we'll have to do this process over and over because I've only got 10. I'll have to wait till Verheis catches up and get them back and then use them again, and so on and so forth.
Understands and agrees.
okay. Um, so
Well, I also have 10 pitons. Would you like to use those too?
Elra will nod.
Okay, I'll hand it to him.
Does that give us a positive on our checks?
Verheis and Eagle probably have a set as well.
Verizon doesn't because I looked. Or at least not in my regular bag. I can check my other bag, but
Eagle has 5.
Eagle would share his.
So that'll take less long to. I'll put one every like 5 feet so that Brenda has something to grab onto as
And
she pulls herself up.
you have 9, Verheis.
Where are they? I don't see them. Oh, Payton. Okay, there they are. Then I give 9, so he's got 20, 40, and 54.
How many? Where did you learn math?
Sorry. No, 34.
I think we figured that one out earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, 34.
I doubled theirs 10, so hey. Okay. At the end, he picks them up and he passes them to Dorinda so she can pass them to him as we're going. And he does it every 10. That way he keeps it instead of having every 5 steps. Every 10 steps, or every 10 posts, he hands the next ones out.
Okay. Um. Okay, so Dorinda and Verheis get to go with advantage from now on. So 22 and 30. Verheis is doing very well. He's actually learning to use the fact that he is tied to Elro to his advantage. And is starting to enjoy the ride, I guess. And Dorinda is definitely picking up her effort and is managing to stay with you without too much trouble. And go ahead and give me another set of rolls, guys. Or Dorinda and Verheis. Oh, I forgot Elro's athletics check. Give me an athletics check for their acrobatics checks, Elro. Not that I really expect you to need to, but... And you'd have to roll really low to not succeed.
With the legendary protection, it says I can climb. But
Yes, but you are literally preventing them from falling to their deaths.
gotcha.
Or sliding to their deaths. Yeah. You'd have to roll. In fact, I think you'd actually have to roll a 1 to fail. Yeah, as you guys near the top, both Verheis and Dorinda are starting to get tired. Elro's just chugging along like a locomotive. No problems there. At one point, Dorinda does slip a little, but she manages to catch herself and catch up before anyone can even react. And yeah, you guys make it to the top after about let's call it 2 hours. And going down the other side, it's not quite as treacherous, but it is still a touch hairy. But using the same method you took to get to the top with the pitons, you guys managed to get down without incident.
And we get to the bottom, I will divvy up the pitons back to their rightful peoples.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for... Oh, thank you, Dinda.
Everybody puts their pitons back so that they keep them for the next time.
Okay, so you should have about let's see. Once you get down from the mountain pass, um, the area around here is the snow isn't quite as deep because it's kind of sheltered in a little mountain cul-de-sac, basically. There's mountains on three sides, so it's kind of sheltered from the wind, worst of the wind and the snow. So um, snow's only about 2.5 feet deep here. Still tall enough to cause um, Eagle some issues, but everyone else should be okay. You measuring to the end of the map again?
Yeah, don't mind me. First I measured to the cave, then I was like, I wonder how many days it would take us to get all the way to the north again. Lots and lots.
Yeah, that's you. Um, at this point, you'd have about 3 hours or so until you'd normally bed down. What do you guys want to do? Or, I'm sorry, before you would normally stop your travel for the day.
You said we made it to the cave, or we can see the cave?
Neither.
We have 3 hours. Keep on going. Get a little higher to see if we can see this cave, and if we can't, keep on moving.
Elro will look back and didn't need rest.
Elro, thank you. I agree. I need to rest. This has been a challenging day. But maybe rest for 10 or 15 minutes and then try again.
Okay. So that's what we'll do.
Okay. um, Elro, give me a survival and perception check at this point. Okay, after you guys finish your 10 to 15 minute rest, um, you start to head out again. And before long, Elro, you cross um, a path in the snow. It's kind of like well, essentially a trail. It's been walked enough that the snow's been um, packed down, and it's heading east to west, or east and west from your current location.
It's packed down, so can I make out any tracks, or is it just pretty much like, hey, this is the trail and commonly used, and a lot of people.
Um, it's fairly fairly well packed. Um, Probably too well packed to be able to see individual tracks, unfortunately.
And could I glean any details on, and we have to know that we're getting close to this cave that we cannot see. Um, would I be able to tell that this is a path that leads on up to like a mining cave, mining tunnel thing, or I don't know. Stretching here, I know, but
Is it a well-worn path?
well, it's a well-worn path. We know that, but um, is it? Could I figure out if I think that this would lead up to the cave, or if I should, or if the cave is further north and we should just keep making our own.
Give me an insight check. Okay. You know that your cave, that the cave that you're looking for, is somewhere on this side of the mountains. Considering what you have seen of this side of the mountains, you have seen almost no sign of civilization outside of a long derelict cabin that probably was abandoned decades ago, and and two people who you suspect might not have even been humanoid. Um, you know that there's a cave up here somewhere, and that this is your first indication of any kind of civilization. So it would probably be in your best interest to investigate.
I typed what Verheis would say if you asked the group, because he said it every time that you've come across something.
So, as we come up and I see this, I will look back at the others and go, easy travel. Left, go, frog. Uh, right, go, cave. Shrug again.
He hears cave and says, "Go cave."
Not no. Easy travel, not wade. No? Maybe cave. Maybe town. Shrug.
He looks at Dorinda, just in case she's wanting to say something. Okay, then he looks at Elro and says, "Follow the trail. It's something just like the feet back there. It's something new. Let's see what's at the end of it. If not, we come back. We keep on going. But since we don't know where we're going to begin with, anything that is out of the ordinary is something we should check."
Toothy grin. And Elro will start heading west along that. No, west. East along that path.
You know, there's. Oh, never mind. You know, when it rolls guidance, it only rolls it once for those 2 rolls. You get the same
But-
number either way.
But my athletics below Dorinda's acrobatics, I get a 1. Then I get a 4. Then I get a 2. Then I get a 1. Then I get a 1. I realize it's a 25% chance, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of red on my screen.
Well,
Damage! Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
okay. So you head west on this path for about 3 hours. And due to the fact that it's so well traveled, you actually make really good time. To the point that when you, or as you're traveling, you just before the sun sets, you kind of look up and you see there's this opening in the side of the mountain. It's probably 10 by 15, maybe. 15 feet high, 10 feet wide. No, 15 feet wide, 10 feet high, sorry. But what causes you to notice it is that the last rays of setting sun flash off of this ice that is over the surface of the cave, over the opening of the cave, and it seems to be polished to a near mirror-like shine, to the point where it's like you're looking at a mirror from 100 feet away. And the only real reason you noticed it was because the last rays of the setting sun kind of flashed off it and pretty much blinded you guys.
It's still tied to
Point
everybody.
point at it and say, Skyfire show hole.
What do you say again?
Skyfire show hole. Maybe cave.
Verizon agrees and says, let's check out if it's cave or something cool. And he walks to it.
Could we determine about how far away we are from it?
Yeah, you're about 100 feet from it.
Oh, okay.
And the sun is just going down for the day.
Actually, no. Verizon doesn't walk towards it because the snow's up to his waist. So he says, lead the way.
Actually, snow here is only about 2.5 feet.
Okay, he starts walking towards it.
Pretty sure I said that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That's why I didn't say anything.
My mind went blank. Okay, sorry. So he covers.
Is that an unusual feature?
No, he covers about 50 feet and stops, waiting for everybody else, because he's tied by rope.
I figured we didn't talk about it, but I figured we would have did the rope while we took our little 15-minute break and did the etons and stuff.
I didn't know if we kept them on just because we were still climbing mountains and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, even though we no batons or anything. So okay, then yeah, he moves forward. He goes up to it and checks out the mirror-like surface.
Okay. The entrance to the cave it's closed off by this sheet of ice, and it looks like a mirror. I mean, you can see a perfect reflection of yourself in it.
Can he find a hole in it?
Don't appear to be any holes.
He walks over and he walks and looks. And he looks at Elro and do you think we should break it? See if there's something behind it?
Road.
Looks at Dorinda.
Why would you break it?
If it is covering a cave opening, then you have to get inside of it somehow. Since there's no opening anywhere that I can see, and I've looked around, breaking some of it, some of the ice may expose opening behind it.
I don't know. It just strikes me that you either want to break or kill pretty much everything we see. Maybe tap on it to see if you can hear an echo or something else before you just break it.
He allows you to tap on it because he has a mace, and if he taps on it, it might break it.
And I reach forward with my hand and just tap on it with my knuckles to see what it sounds like.
Okay. It feels very, very solid. Um, kind of like knocking on a brick wall kind of thing. Um, give me a perception check real quick. Okay. As you knock on it, let's see how would this sound. You do hear that there's definitely something behind this. Some sort of opening. Um, it's yeah. That's about all you get from that. Um, as far as the detect magic, um, as you look around, Elro, it seems like everything seems to have a faint magical aura around you at the moment. It's kind of a little bit surreal because everything around you except for your friends. I mean, obviously the items that they're carrying that are magical are showing up, but it's just everything in the environment, the rocks, the ice, the snow, everything just seems to be glowing with a very faint magical aura.
I tell what kind of magical aura.
Um, for the most part, conjuration.
I will. How to relay? That's the question. Um, someone someone points at Dorinda. Mage, like, do something here. All glow like trick.
Is it possible that someone has cast some sort of a spell here that would make us see what they want us to see instead of what is? And if so, how do we check for that?
Elro, you would know that that is definitely not the case because it's conjuration magic as opposed to illusion magic, which is what your Dorinda is talking about.
Okay, then that's true enough.
Well, Elro knows that. You don't. Give him a second to explain it.
All right, be quiet. Me, be quiet.
Yeah. It's really hard to play stupid on this because, like, I know how to describe conjuration magic, but how to describe it in Elro speak is like extremely tough.
But you're good at our speak.
Yeah, I'm just trying to dumb this down to where Elro would actually be able to say it.
And hopefully makes sense to Dorinda.
Right.
Oh, I guess
Because,
that's really not important, is it?
but I mean, like, with all the shrugs and the grins and stuff, like, already an enigma to try and figure out Elro. And then the few times he actually speaks. Um, make like make like animal. Agrius, make ape. That type. Mage. Magic.
Uh, Verias
So
points to Agrius the owl and say, like that.
You pointed what?
Your owl, Agrius.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a dragon. But
Dragon points to dragon like that.
I'm familiar. It's kind of a conjuration, right?
Yeah.
Held nod with a toothy grin. Like, actually not a toothy grin, like a big grin.
okay, so I was trying to suggest that the magic was showing us a picture. And that's not right. Correct?
Elro will shrug and say, not fake, make real. Can try make go away in morning. Not able now.
Would true sight help?
Would Elro know what true sight is? Probably not.
While they're discussing magical tactics, Verias will start a fire near the away from the mirror side, closer to the mountainside, so that setting up camp pretty much. Since Elro just said, "I can do it in the morning, but I can't do it now." That's all he understands about what they're discussing.
Uh, what level cleric are you?
5th level. I have third level spells, so I can learn to spell magic in the morning, but I don't have it prepared for today, so. And that's assuming that it's a 3rd level spell and not, an 8th level spell, which I don't have, so. I can try make go away, but doesn't make it, now I can make go away.
I don't have the
As far
ability to help. Sorry.
true sight. Um,
I was proposing that, but I don't have it. So
oh, well,
it's a
then,
moot point.
yes.
I don't even have dispel magic. So not much of a sorceress.
You concentrate on combat spells instead of utility spells.
That's true enough.
That's just the way you go.
Hey, look, I can get true seeing in like a lot of levels, like months and months from now.
Well, let's just take a jump into the future and get that, and then use it and see what happens. But I don't have the ability to travel into the future.
You're right, sis. I have ideas in the morning if he can't. I have lots of ideas.
He looks at his mace.
Yep.
Just to continue following my dad's train of thought here. By the time you can travel into the future, you'll already have that spell.
Yes, but it won't be the future then.
No. Anyway, so Verhei says what he says.
In the alternate time universe, time parallel stuff, knowing that we were here now, in the future, when Dorinda's able to learn the time traveling spell, it can take us back here while we're sleeping so that we don't know that they are there. And then Elro can use, or somebody can use the true seeing thing.
Wow!
I
I'm just gonna
think
say no.
that is way beyond Elro's understanding and mine.
Maybe by that point, Elro will be smart. Who knows?
Maybe he will. Whatever the case, it isn't happening tonight.
So what is happening tonight?
Nature-wise, can I tell how how natural this ice looks in comparison to the magic aura that I saw?
The what?
In comparison to the magic aura that I saw with the detect magic, can I look at the solid sheet of ice and see how natural it looks to the surroundings?
About as natural as everything else. So it too has a glow.
Oh,
Is that what you're asking?
okay. Outside of the magical area, if it looked natural, but I'm guessing that from that answer, everything could be something that was conjured into existence and look natural, but not be natural, or it could all be natural and something else was conjured. So, all good. I think we'll set up camp, which Rice has already started doing.
Okay. Are you guys setting up camp right in front of this thing, or right in front of this cave?
No, it's over to the side, up against the mountain. Where we see the cave. It's a little farther back, but it's so that if something was coming out of the cave, we can respond to it.
Okay. What I'm trying to ask is, are you hidden so that anyone coming out of the cave can't see you?
Yes, as best we can be. That was the whole reason I moved away from the cave.
Or rather, are you hidden in an attempt to prevent anyone coming out of the cave from seeing you?
Yes, and because of thinking about it that way, I wouldn't start a fire. So I suggest we have rations for the night and bundle up as best we can, and take turns watching cave.
Okay, I will hand everybody a mutton ration because it's still fresh. And uh,
Eagle
so-
and Verheist take it.
okay, you do,
Elro,
and
Elro will eat one of his veggie rations.
that's fine and certainly understandable, Elro. So I guess it'll be just the three of us taking the mutton ration. And with that, I'm going to bundle up and hopefully get warm enough to ease some of my aches and pains from the day. And sleep as long as I can.
He gets posted in the shadow. He finds a good shadow and posts there just so that he can watch the cave and its surroundings. Keep an eye on everybody, but he's more interested on if anything comes out or into the cave. And if the ice disappears at night.
Okay. You say you're posted at a position where you can see the cave opening?
Yeah. And I'm in the shadows. Make sure that our group is in the shadows so that it's not just, hey, there's somebody there and that we're hidden behind something and that I can see our surroundings, but my mind's more. Something was sneaking up behind us and they had a good sneak. They really wouldn't need to worry about a good sneak, but they could come up behind us because of how much I'm paying attention to that opening or reported opening. And I'm really hoping that the ice just disappears at night.
Okay, with that, it is 10 till 11. Do you guys want to continue?
I
Sorry,
do.
it is 8 till 11. You want to continue or you want to leave it off with this handy little cliffhanger?
Sounds like a good place to stop for the next session.
What's up with you, Elro?
I'm always willing to go on, but it is a very screwed up Matt Mercer
Cliffhanger?
place to leave it till next time, which would totally, yeah.
Y'all don't like me. I hate cliffhangers. Okay.
Oh, trust me, I don't like them either. I like using them against you, um, but yeah, I agree. Like when I'm watching YouTube and they're like, or I'm not actually watching YouTube because I'm working, but I'm listening to it, and it's like, and this is happening, this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening, and that's where we're going to leave it off till next week. And I'm like, damn it! Even though I can skip to the next one, I'm just like, seriously, now I gotta change computers and change tabs and get into that, and
Right?
All right. We can play. We'll play tomorrow and the next day, but we'll save this one for the next one.
Tomorrow's packed, right?
yep.
Yep.
Yes, it is. 5 o'clock.
Level 18 characters.
Uh-huh. And with
Getting her.
that, everyone have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Night, everyone.
Me too.
Night, everyone.